welcome to Sestra-Tainment. I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment. And so I am going to go first this week.
Yes.
And what I'm going to talk about is a show that has been on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's called Billionaire Bunker.
Billionaire Bunker. Oh, yeah. It's another language, right?
Yeah, it's in
I didn't watch it because it was another language, and you know how I am with the mouth. Yeah. I mean, some things I can watch it if it holds my attention, but a lot of them, it's like, okay, this is way too off, so I can't do it.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Billionaire Bunker is on Netflix, and I thought it kept my attention. I really enjoyed it. It is a Spanish show, so from Spain, and so that is
España. You gotta say it with the lisp because they all speak with a lisp, and that's España.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
got it.
Spain.
Yep. And it basically came out in 2025 as like a thriller television series. So the way that it starts out is that you have this. I'll go through. Well, there's just different characters. With it being Spanish, nobody really knows.
Yeah, you will know. Yeah, because I've never seen none of the people.
Yeah, exactly. And so, so you have a young man who basically ends up. They start showing him, and he meets like the love of his life when he's a little boy, and they do everything together, and they grow up together, and then as they become maybe in their 20s, they decide, wait, we actually love each other. So then they start dating and all of that. And he was like, she was the person who was there for all my first, love and my first kiss, but also my first time I had success and the first time that I, made a mistake or, everything. So anyway, what ends up happening is that he driving a car one night with her in the car with them, they show them both drinking and having a good time, but they're like drinking while they're driving, and she is handing him a drink in his mouth, and he ends up running off the road. It kind of reminded me of like when you had Left Eye go off the road, and it's like this off the road, just random thing, but there was a tree.
If anybody doesn't understand what she's saying, Left Eye in the documentary about when she died.
Yes, about when she died from TLC. And so basically, she ends up passing away. He ends up living, and he's devastated, of course, because it's the love of his life.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you realize, like, it jumps forward to him being charged with involuntary manslaughter and now being in prison. However, he's a millionaire, you find out. And so his family is, at least.
Yeah.
So therefore, he always has a bunch of money on his books, but everybody in prison knows he's a millionaire. So therefore, they're always like either kicking his butt or they're asking for money to protect him so that he doesn't get his butt kicked. But
probably what just happened to Diddy right now.
More and more and more, his butt is getting kicked. So therefore, and his grandma's putting money on the books. She's hiding money in books to give to guards and paying them so that they can give him thousands and thousands of dollars to just buy off people. So they just show him one time on this bench, and people just come up to him, and he's like, here you go. Somebody else comes over, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Like, he's just handing out money left and right. So he has a traumatic experience that happens to the point that he just is like broken, right? He's just like, and then they're scared of him because they're like, now he looks like he's deranged. Why is he acting this way? And, so then he's decided, you know what? No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start, hitting the punching bags, all this stuff. And then I'm going to become, big man on the block. And literally that's what happened. He started fighting. He's losing teeth. He's, beating people up, but they're beating him up. But he's like, I don't really have anything to care about or live for. So what does it matter?
Yeah, is he in prison for like the rest of his life or something?
He's in there for a period of time, which is interesting because you say Billionaire Bunker, I hope it's not the prison, right?
Yeah.
So no, what happens is just one day while he's like hanging out now, friends with all the guys in the prison, they're all laughing and joking and high-fiving him and all of that because he's excelled in prison.
He's the top dog.
I guess he might be the top dog. Yeah, you're right. Because they don't really show it, but yeah, definitely. So what ends up happening is they're like, okay, you're getting out. And he's like, I'm getting out. And they're like, yeah. And then this man is outside ready to see him. And so then you're like, who is that? Well, you put together it's his father.
Okay.
But he does not have a good relationship with his
father. I could
see
that. Yeah, most billionaires don't have good relationships with their sons.
And it's deeper than the norm. Okay. And they explain that before the end of the first episode.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Of why he despises his
Now
father.
This is making me want to watch it. Even like past the mouth moving, like it's an old.
Yeah. And I did not pay attention to the mouth moving personally. Yeah. So therefore, what ends up happening...
I do have another question. Are the voices close enough to where you could see that actual person with that voice?
For me.
Okay.
For me.
So, because I hate it when it's like dubbed and then it's like the voice does not look like...
Right. It's some big dude and the voice sounds more high-pitched.
Yeah. I'm like, what is this? Yeah. We don't have Mike Tyson on here.
Right, exactly. So, but so what ends up happening is that his father is like, look, something is about to go down. Mm-hmm. And because of that, I needed to get you out. So we pulled all the strings we could to get you out. You got to come with us. Okay. And then your mom, your grandmother, the
whole family, we got to go.
Come on, we got to go. And he's resistant. He's like, why should I go with you? You got me free. Great. Bye. See you later. So his father talks him into it and he's like, all right, fine, I'll go with you. They end up getting on this helicopter. And then they end up going to this very remote place. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, they're basically walking into this bunker, which is the Billionaire Bunker. And they're like, he's, kind of like, what is going on? But basically, he gets to the bunker and they're like, okay, you need to put all your personal belongings over here.
I did see that in the
You have
trailer.
to change your clothes. You're going to be wearing like these teal green outfits, but everybody who works here wears the orange. So that way, we can tell the difference between the billionaires and the workers. You can't have any personal belongings, no cell phones, no whatever, but we're going to lock this bracelet on you and it's checking your heart rate and everything just to make sure because you're in this bunker, you're healthy, you're okay, your heart rate's good, your, how much you're sweating, how much, this, that, the third, like it could check basically all, of your health stats. So anyway, then it's like, all right, fine. He goes ahead, does all of that, and then you get into this elevator, and it takes you down, and then you're hearing this lady talk, and she's basically saying, you all are being a part of this drill or this situation where we're coming to the Billionaire Bunker. You all have paid $50 million to bring your families to this Billionaire Bunker. And based on that, we have the top security that we could possibly have for you. We have this, we have that, everything that you need is here. So you get down to the bottom.
What do I need security for from inside of a bunker with a bunch of billionaires?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. So you get all the way in. And as all this is happening, by the way, as they're getting there and as this stuff is going on, what you're hearing in the helicopter is they just bombed Norway.
You mean the elevator?
No. When they were in the helicopter heading that way, you're hearing, a nuclear bomb just hit Norway.
Not Norway.
They're expecting somebody to retaliate, Norway to retaliate, and then they're going to bomb this, and then they're going to bomb that. So it feels like a world war is starting. Okay. So all the billionaires are rushing to this bunker so that they can be protected and procreate the earth after everything is, demolished. And they can live down there. I forgot for how many years it said that they can live down there in case of a nuclear event until everything clears. So they're down there and they're like, who knows when we'll be able to come back up. But the lady is reassuring and, eventually she shows up in front of them and she's like, look, we're not expecting this to really be where we are in regards to the devastation. However, we just want to make sure that everybody is safe, because y'all are highly important people. So then what ends up...
you have a bunch of money.
And you have a bunch of money. So what ends up happening is that the young man who was in prison, guess who else is down there? Who? The girl who he ended up involuntarily murdering's family is down there. So her father, her sister, and the stepmom. Because the actual mom ended up passing away as well because she was just grief-stricken. She was in a car accident, but they were like, we don't even know, was she even paying attention? Was she crying? What happened as to why she ended up having her accident? So long story short, you have this pressure cooker situation where he has to be around the family of the girl he killed, and they knew he loved her, but at the same time they felt as though he didn't get as much time as he deserved, because now you're out and you're in a billionaire bunker. Like, how is this even possible? So the father
you've killed my kid and now you're just hanging out in here with us.
So the father is trying to act cool, but he's furious because the other father is his best friend. That's how the two kids met each other, was because the two fathers are really good friends. And so the one father is like, look, if I'm going to do anything shady or dirty to him and stab him in his, sleep, I can't let my best friend know I did that. But, it might be an eye for eye situation going on here, kind of thing. So later, what happens in the same episode, the young man, he gets to see his grandmother's there, his mom's there, all these things. But what ends up happening is all of a sudden, everything starts rumbling. And the wine, and because they're drinking, and they're billionaires, so they're treating the staff like crap. And like, wait, do you mean a 2-drink minimum? I'm not gonna just have 2 drinks. I'm a billionaire. What are you talking about? And it's like, oh my God, all the ego. Then you have the grandmother who at dinner is like, you want me to walk up and touch all the utensils of a buffet? Like, no, somebody bring the plate to my table. And they were like, no, the way we work down here is that you go get your own stuff. Food. And she was determined that if she spent $50 million to be down there, she was not going to get up and get it, because next thing you know, she said, our hands will be in the toilets, cleaning them too. So no, I am not.
I hope that something comes and blows up that bunker.
Well,
the way that person sounds,
the grandmother is very entitled.
Let's humble you by blowing up your bunker.
Yeah. So what does end up happening, like I said, everything starts rumbling. The liquor bottles start shaking. The books start falling off the shelves, and all of a sudden, mass chaos. Everything's red. The power goes out. It's alert, alert, alert. Sirens are going off everywhere. Boulders are coming into the building. Like, all this stuff is happening, which makes you think what's going on outside, because they're underground, not only underground, underwater. Like, they're so far down. They're like under a lake. So, but why is it that all this is happening? And is the water going to start coming in? Are we all going to die down here? And now we're dead billionaires because we, chose this bunker. And so what ends up happening, the lady comes and she's explaining, hey, this happened over here and this happened and this bombing took place. But while she's talking, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why she did this, the TV screens are behind her, like a wall of different TV screens. And it's showing what's going on in the world. Okay. So it's showing what's happening in Sweden and what's happening in Norway and what's happening in China and what's happening in the United States and what's happening in Spain and everywhere, right? And you're just starting to see nuclear bomb over here, nuclear bomb over there, nuclear bomb over here, everything is blowing up. And then all of a sudden, after they got off the helicopter, they had to go across this bridge that got them to the elevators to go up and down into the bunker. The bridge blows.
The bridge is over. The bridge is over.
There's no way, even if they get up to the top, there's no way for them to get back over the lake because of the fact that the bridge that brought them there is completely gone. And so and then the power, like she tells everybody, shut the TVs down or whatever. And the power just goes out or something happens. And then they're like, she's trying to explain and calm everybody down. But she's like, let me go and do a little more research and come back. This is all the first episode.
Oh, this is nice.
This is the first episode.
I love this.
So when I tell you at the end of the first episode, something happens that you're like, what?
Oh, really? Okay.
What? Are you kidding me? And that's where I'll leave it. So, again, all of that first episode, but it was really good. And that's why I'm surprised the ratings on it isn't really that high. And I don't know why. Maybe the Spaniards have a very strong, opinion of their television or whatever. But for me, I thought it was pretty good. So I enjoyed it. But it's called The Billionaire Bunker. It's on Netflix. And all I'll say is this. Watch the first episode. If you watch that and you're just like, nah, it's not anything to keep me going, don't watch it. But the first episode, in my opinion, because of how it ends, it will at least have you wanting to watch the second episode.
Okay.
So, yeah, but it is good. So, all right. What do you have, sis?
Okay, so what I want to talk about is, we're going to bring it down a little bit.
Okay.
Is the death of Rob Reiner and him and his wife. The whole story about it. So ABC did a like a mini, like an episode about everything that happened and like all of his his accomplishments. I didn't know who his father was.
Oh, yeah, Carl Reiner.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew who the guy was, but then I didn't put that that was his dad.
Like, it's the Sutherlands, right? Kiefer Sutherland and then
no. They look alike, so I could get that. But I mean,
I don't think they look a little alike.
I don't think they look alike.
Especially as he got older, I feel like he could look psychotic. But then maybe it's the beard. But
maybe
anyway.
I think that's what it is, the beard and receding hairline. Maybe. But no, I never put that together that that's who it was. But then also, every time I heard the name Reiner, I just always thought it was the same person.
Oh, okay, got it.
So if it's somebody said Rob Reiner or Carl Reiner, I would.
You would have thought.
I would have paid. Yeah, I would have paid attention to the last name. It might have been like, I thought it was Rob, or I thought it was Carl. I was not actually paying attention to.
Or it could have been Joe Reiner. You wouldn't have paid attention to what that
exactly.
was. Yeah,
exactly. So so they talk about the death of him and his wife. And the police taking in their son, Nick Reiner, as a suspect.
Yes.
So what happens is that their daughter, Romy, who was 28, found them Sunday around 3:30 p.m. or 3:40 p.m. In their house, in their bedroom.
Okay, yeah.
They were I can't get it out. They were brutally stabbed in their bedroom, and their son, Nick, who is the suspect, has had a lot of problems with drug addiction, and he and his father actually put a movie together called Being Charlie that was lightly about what the family went through with his addiction. So that is something, and they've actually spoken about it, and that was something that they brought into light. And
he spoke to that quite frequently in regards to his son's addiction and things like that.
Yeah, and then the fact that his son was even even into let's go ahead and talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So I know that one part where they were talking to him and his son in an interview, his son was like, they made the father be a very mean and the writing was a father being a very mean and evil person to his kid. And he was like, but that's not my experience. He was like, I got the loving. I did get a little bit of, sternness and, this is how it has to be, but it was still in a loving way. He was like, so that was one part of the movie that he did not actually think was part of his own life.
Okay.
But from there, so they said that Nick was arrested Monday around 9 p.m. And they said that they had found him, I think after the stabbing, he actually left and walked to a store.
Oh, really?
He went to a store, because they had footage of him inside of a store with a book bag on his shoulder. Walks into a store, walks around, starts to go to get a drink, and then turns around and walks back out of the store, and then turns back around and walks back into the store, and then ends up getting a drink, paying cash for it, and leaving. Now, the thing is about that there were allegations that Nick got actually tagged along to a Christmas party at Conan O'Brien's house.
Yep, I heard that they were there.
Yes, so he was invited. He wasn't invited, but Rob was worried about him and didn't want him to be alone because he was worried about his mental state. Now, for that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, if you're worried about your son's mental state, why are you going to a Christmas party? I guess it was like, if, you can come with us to this Christmas party. Maybe you'll enjoy it, and maybe we'll help you out. But they said that at the party, he was not himself. He was going up to different people and saying, "Who are you? What do you do? What is your last name?" And then staring at them weirdly, and then going to somebody else and constantly doing that. And I think there was a confrontation between him and Bill Hader. There was a confrontation between them.
I hear that.
Yeah, there was some different things. These are all allegations.
Yeah.
But there was some confrontations where he was acting weird around the party, and then I guess his parents, Rob, actually comes up to him and talks to him about it, and then that's where an argument sets in at the actual Christmas party. So, this was actually just hours before they were killed.
Yes, I did hear that.
The party.
Yeah. It was the same night.
The same exact night. Yeah, they said
this confrontation happened, the Conan O'Brien Christmas party, like all of that. Yeah.
So it's like it happened that night, and then I guess the daughter hadn't heard anything from them because she was like, they weren't just our parents; they were like our best friends. Mm-hmm. So I guess she hadn't heard anything from them. So and then she goes to the house and
does
then
finds a welfare check.
Yeah, and finds them.
That's got to be horrific for her.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Very, very horrific. And then, but they were just talking about the mental state of the son and how he just, with his drug addiction and mental problems, how he just was not, it's like he wasn't always all there. Mm-hmm. So, and he's always talked about, I never had a problem with talking about my addiction. He was like, I want to be able to talk about it so then other people will be able to know and get their own grasp of whatever addiction problem that they
I've never seen a video. I mean, I've seen a lot of footage of it over this week, but I haven't seen any video of him specifically talking. So they showed video of him talking and what
this was from of who? Of
the son, yeah.
Oh yeah, this was from when they had put out Being Charlie.
Right. But when I had seen them talking about that before, they only shared the father's view of the pulling it together. They never had the son speaking on the clips that I saw.
Yeah. So ABC actually put it together differently. So, but there's been no other information about the death at this time. So the son is just in jail.
They just said it was a stabbing.
Yes, they said it was brutal stabbing.
Yeah. Brutal stabbing.
And then I don't think they said where. They didn't. But they didn't say where they were stabbed or how they were stabbed or anything. We don't know if they were stabbed in the back, if they were stabbed in their sleep. We don't know anything about that. It could have been stabbed in the head. We don't know anything. The only thing that we know is a brutal stabbing, and it's horrific for the daughter to find that, and sad that the son even did do that. So there's that. I mean, what if it comes out that the son actually really didn't even do it? Like he had some kind of drug and a gambling addiction, and then people came to find him, and then they ended up killing his parents.
He opened the door.
He opened the door.
I heard that he opened the door when the police came.
He opened the door when the police came?
That's what I had heard. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, okay. But that's what they had said, that he was back at the house and that he
went back to the house after they died. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I think he lived there.
Opened the door for the police to come in, and that's when, I guess, I don't know, because I'm guessing that when the sister called, maybe the brother was there, or maybe he came in after. I have no idea of all the things that you hear, especially when things are happening in real time. Like, what is that?
Yeah, it all gets misconstrued.
But this was anything that I had listened to or saw on this was things that were like the New York Times talking about it, or CNN talking about it, or something. I wasn't going to what is TikTok saying happened?
You know what I mean?
That was looking for the real.
The actual real news and not Fox. Yes.
Well, anybody that wasn't going to be telling the real deal.
But that's one thing that I did want to talk about. So R.I.P. to the Reiners.
Yes.
And, very sending positive energy to the children.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, that is
devastating because it's so unexpected. And even though they were older, it's not that you would, they weren't at the age where you would just be like something like this, just you don't think of anything being tragic, of course, but you're just like, they're kids. I'm thinking you don't even have on your mind anything happening to your kids.
Yes.
So when you hear this news, you're like, wait, what? They were fine. They were healthy. What happened? Like, what's going on? And then for her to actually see it, that's a whole other
absolutely. And you know what? With the one thing that they did show on the ABC, I guess little mini documentary that they had was about how the guy who was, I don't know if he was part of the police or whatever, who was doing the press conference right after they had gotten the bodies and everything out.
Okay.
They were just like, okay, so he was like, so right now we don't have any suspects. And the guy was like, maybe you should be doing that, finding the suspect. And then somebody else asked a question. He was like, oh, yeah, no, it's not anybody in Brentwood that we are looking for. So he's like, Brentwood is safe. And it's like, but you don't even know that, bro. Like, you don't know if Nick is just going around just randomly killing people, or you don't know. Like, because he did know they did have the idea that it was the son.
Yeah, right.
But then it was like, but you don't know what he's doing. He could be going around Charles Mansoning people with a bunch of people. Like, you have no idea. Yeah. So, but I just saw that and I was like, why did they put this guy on TV to talk to the press?
Yeah.
Looked like he was not the smartest man to do that. So maybe they should reevaluate his job and maybe give him a different title. I mean, the way that he was looking, he was like, oh, wait, guys. Okay, so everything in Brentwood is fine. We're not worried about it being a danger inside of Brentwood. Bro, you just talked about how 2 people were just murdered inside. Yeah. And now you're laughing and say, oh, yeah, no, it's not anything with Brentwood.
Gotcha.
So it's like a condescending, like, I don't know. It was just... I don't know. They should have gotten somebody else to do that press conference instead of him.
Somebody who was a little bit more appropriate, polished.
Yes. Someone who knows how to do their job.
How to do it.
Exactly.
And how to speak to things in the right type of way. So, yeah.
But that's all I have. What do you have next, sis?
All right. So I have, I'm talking about Kev on stage, believe it or not.
Hey, it's my boy.
It's your boy. And I'm talking about him because I have watched a couple of things that he has put out of late.
Which one did you watch?
And so I have watched, one I listened to. Well, and actually I guess I watched it because I started to listen to it as a podcast, which is called Not My Best Moment.
Yeah.
And then I said, wait a minute, because the first one was him and Issa Rae.
Okay.
So I was like, wait, I feel like he's probably got a video of this. Let me look on YouTube and see if I can find it.
With Tab too.
And then that's when I found the video of it, and I was like, okay, now I felt better watching it than just listening to it. For some reason, for the 2 of them specifically, I needed to see facial expressions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that.
I feel like...
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I was like, with me looking at the, with me listening to Here's the Thing podcast that he has with that chick Angel.
Yeah.
It's like I still will go, even after I listen to it and I know everything that happened in it, I'm still going to go and look at the YouTube because now I get to see all of the crazy stuff that they're doing, the facial expressions and things like that. So definitely, I like that.
Yeah. And so I ended up looking at Safe Space also, which is the couples therapy show as well, which both of them are.
Which he
hilarious.
Says that people ask him all the time, Kev, wait, you said on the episode of Safe Space that you weren't married. And he was like, what are you talking about?
I'm playing a character.
He's like, I'm playing a character. He was like, so wait, so you're not a therapist? No, I'm not. He said, okay. And he said, if you see Kevin Fredericks with glasses on, I'm up to some tomfoolery.
Because Kevin Fredericks
does not wear that. He was like, if you see me in any facet where I look like a professional, that is me acting. That is not me as a person. I am not a professional when it comes to that. He's like, my life is, I baby my kids and I make fun of people and that is it. So
and says how much he doesn't particularly love his dog, but he really does.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff. So, but so I want to play clips from it, but there's some profanity in it, so it's a little bit hard to play clips because we try to be as clean as we can on this episode or on this podcast. However, it is hilarious. It is hilarious.
Is that the Issa Rae one?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the couples one right now. Sorry. So I may try to play this little. It's only a minute. It can't be so bad.
As a licensed therapist, years of experience has taught me that to be seen is to be understood. And to be understood is to be loved.
Choke me a little bit. Just choke me right there.
And the one thing I know about relationships is that we all deserve the love we deserve.
I almost called you a bitch. Did you just call my mother a whore?
It's excuses. I'm going to beat your bald-headed ass. Whore. Did you hear that W? Whore. Yes,
peace isn't found through control. It's through surrender.
Like squeeze.
And when we submit to the process of nourishing what's been neglected, we invite growth.
I didn't come here to get questioned about my breast milk intake.
Wow. Some space. Move over, please.
And that's why in this space, the relationship is my client, not the couple. Let's put the coffee beans into the grinder, press the button, drip it out, take a sip with me. Welcome to Safe Space.
You know what else I love
about... on Tubi.
You know what else I love about Kev? Is he's taking people who are like him, the people who were on the internet and became like their internet. What is the word that I'm looking for? Influencers. So they're like influencer type, that kind of comedy that they do, and he brings them in.
Oh, I didn't know who these people were because
they are all most of them. Some of them I think is like people that he's worked with on something else, and he'd be like, "Look, I need you to play this role," and they'd be like, "Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, that's pretty.
He's like, "I only need you for like maybe 3 hours a day, just so we can roll this out." And he said that a lot of it, people were ad-libbing.
Oh, yes. I saw some of the outtakes.
It's not unscripted. Yes. It is hilarious.
Because one of the things, one of the girls had said, she was talking about, no, we're not going to have kids because I don't, he's bow-legged and this and that. And then at one point she said, and then the way his feet look. And they both were like, wait, how did it do? And then they just like broke character because they were like, wait, his feet. Like you were talking about this, and this. And every take, I guess, was about something else. And then she threw something else in there. And it was like, he's just gnarly and da-da-da. And then he was like, oh my God.
But he loves it. He loves the ad-libbing part of it. He's like, that's what makes the comedy. That's what makes it funny when somebody has a thought and can just put it out there. And it's like, oh yeah, just forget what I said that you should say and go with that.
Yeah, exactly. And so it has, for Safe Space, it has a bunch of characters who are couples. Yeah. And so, and what was funny is all the couples, even though they just threw two people together because they're not couples in real life.
Yeah.
They were believable with no backstory.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I really like that fact that it's like you didn't even need to have like, oh, how did they meet and blah, blah, blah. It was more of just like they're on this couch.
And you can see the way that they are sitting on each side of the couch, not even touching. They are married. They're married.
Or some of them were, but they were just like for example, a few of them cracked me up. So the one where the girl was like, choke me a little bit, kind of thing, because she was more dominant. And he's like, no, babe, no. He's a big, huge guy. So it was more of like, okay, look, you a muscle guy. Like I see you at the gym and you were like, but yet you're too soft, you're too tender. Like just be like more aggressive. He's like, no, I want to love you. And she is just like, oh, and
then she grab his hands and put him on her neck.
It's like, just choke me a little. And then she's laying back trying to make her choke. And he's like, no, I could never hurt you, baby. And it was just like hilarious.
It is funny.
And then at one point he was just like, well, what you want me to say? And she was like, oh, do that. And he was like, no, that's not me. And she was like, oh my God. Like you could just tell that she was like so disappointed. Then you have the other couple who with Tony and his
Tony
wife,
Baker,
so to speak, but where she was just like, I guess it was all about sex for her. Like that was it. And he was just like, I need rest. I need relaxation. I need sleep. I need whatever. And then they were like, okay, well maybe role play, blah, blah, blah. And then she would just keep jumping in and trying to jump in. And it was like, oh my God, like how did they even get to that point? You have the girl who was literally, in my opinion, insane because she was like, he was nice and sweet and he tried to propose. I don't know if you saw that one where he was like, I'm trying to propose to her and trying to, but she doesn't want me to because in her mind, she's like, we don't have the same story as my mom and dad, so we can't get married. And so then it's like, but how are we going to have the same story as your mom and dad when I met you after college, but your mom and dad were high school sweethearts? Yeah. And she was like, exactly. So we're never going to be able to have that love story like my mom and dad. And then she was like, but how is that hindering us being able to have a relationship and you accepting a ring from me? And everything that she would say was like, if you had ever heard of a master manipulator who can take what you say and turn it around and make you think you're crazy.
Like a narcissist.
But they are crazy. Yeah. And it's to the point that you're just like, wait, I don't understand what you're saying because what you're saying doesn't make sense. You're saying you love this guy. Yeah. You want to be with him. But yet at the same time, it's like, but why are you saying that this needs to happen in order for you to be with him when you don't, you're just not explaining yourself well. Yeah. And so, it's just insanity. But when I watched her, I
think she's the girl from Churchy. I think that's.
Is she on Churchy? Okay.
Churchy. Yeah, he picks up people from everywhere,
and then he kind of keeps with them. Yeah. So, so I just thought that was so hilarious, like just watching these couples, and then the creme de la creme was the preacher guy. who is like a pastor.
Oh yeah. I did see that one.
OMG, that cracked me up.
Where everything was him bringing God into everything.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So she was just like, okay, well, when we're trying to be intimate, like we don't need to hear T.D. Jakes.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, well, he came out with that Love album, and don't nobody have a more powerful voice than T.D. Jakes, and it's from a place of love and a place of God, and da da da. And then he would everything was passive aggressive. So she had this like tight low cut dress on, and he would say a prayer before the thing, and he was like, and just put the cloth of Jesus over my wife, Lord, and cover her in the and it was like, and she's just sitting there like, here he go, like it's always about whatever. And everything was about the divine anointing, or the this or the that, and I was just like, OMG, he was
hilarious,
so funny. So anyway, that safe space, I thought it was funny on Tubi. So, and I don't really watch Tubi talking about it. I need to find out where Churchy is, and then there's one.
Churchy's on BET. Hospital, I think, is on Tubi as well.
Okay.
Churchy is on BET.
Okay, so I haven't watched that.
But I told you before who Kevin on Stage's sister-in-law is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to share it again?
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but
yes, it was on TikTok.
Who's on?
Or Instagram.
She's just on social media.
Social in general.
I'm not a lawyer, and she's a judge. So I'm listening.
Oh, she's a judge now?
She is a judge. She's always been a judge.
Oh, well, when she said I'm not a lawyer, I assume because lawyers become judges.
Yeah, but she's not a lawyer. She's a judge. She's like, I'm not a lawyer, but
so she's like, I'm a judge.
So they were. It was one episode of Here's the Thing where they were talking about. There was I don't know if people had seen this on social media, but there was a police officer who had to end up doing Zoom court. And he was sitting on the couch, and he's got the thing on, so he has like his police shirt on, everything on. And then the judge is like, okay, can you state your name? And he says his name and what he does and everything. And then you hear the woman say, does he got clothes on? And then the judge says, all right, sir, are you wearing pants? And he goes, sir, no, sir, I'm not. And he was like, okay.
So he just had the camera too low? So
he had the camera too low, yes.
He didn't have pants. He didn't recognize that it was
correct.
Catching that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was like, they're actually in the water. No, Your Honor, I do not have pants on. So from there, they ended up talking about how, like, if you're doing like a Zoom thing like that, when it was COVID, when they had to do Zoom court, like, how did that work out? Was it like, you're supposed to dress a certain way when you go to court? Was that a thing? So then it was like, we should ask Mel about this. Was it Mel? I think it was Mel.
Okay.
Oh, was it Angel's sister? Now I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, they ended up asking somebody and was like, hey, so when what is appropriate attire, underneath y'all robe, what do y'all have on? And she was like, she said, I'll have a maxi dress on that flows in all the right places. She said, blah, 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 blah. So she's just stating off stuff. She said, I just had on some leather pants the other day and a halter top.
Whatever you want to wear.
Whatever she want to wear, she said, because I got my robe on. Mm-hmm. You can't see what I got up underneath my robe. My robe is zipped up. I'm good,
Yeah.
And they were just talking about how it was hilarious, the fact that it's like you got to dress a certain way to stand in front of the judge.
But the judges earn the right to no longer have to worry about how they look.
But it's like, but the judge underneath, what they have on, they could just have on a muumuu. Yeah, they could just have on a muumuu with nothing else, and that would be it. So and I thought that was hilarious how they were talking about that, because it was like, yeah, girl, we was going out for drinks afterwards, so we went ahead and we had all decided that we was gonna wear matching blah blah blah. So I had my leather pants on, my nice cute heels, and a little halter tie. She said, but when I put the robe on, like, I'm in my zone.
I'm in my zone.
When I get out the robe, happy hour on me.
Yeah, and that's what Lauren Lake has said. Lauren Lakes, I think his name is Judge Lauren.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, anyway, but she was like with paternity court.
Oh, okay.
The lady, the black judge.
Okay, yeah.
And she was saying that she was just like, she said, I am styling and profiling underneath mine. Like, I am couture sometimes, and she was just like, it's just what I need to do. However, I need to feel in order to feel good.
Exactly,
So
because it's all about how they feel for themselves.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I can have my outfit on, you can see my outfit all the way up until I get to my chambers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then from my chambers to the courtroom,
Yeah.
I got my robe on. So it's like I got like an hour of flashiness, and then now I'm down to
back into who I'm supposed to be in this facility.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's what Lauren Blake called it too. She said her carpool collection. She was like, I would be wearing this and that and looking this way or that way, taking my son to the carpool, and then I would use that, potential carpool collection to then go into what I was going to do. I was like, that's hilarious.
But I would have never even thought about that, like what judges would wear underneath their stuff. But that all just derived from that
well, and it's
police
easier
officer.
for women than it is for men because, like, men, if a judge can't have on shorts because then you would be seeing his ankles as he's walking up, so you would know, like, wait a minute, judge, like.
I'm pretty sure there's judges that come in with
come in with a t-shirt on. Or something.
They probably come in with like basketball shorts and a t-shirt, but then they have in their chambers a pair of pants that they always just slip on.
I don't even think it's basketball shorts. I think it's like Bermuda shorts.
Oh yeah, probably
golf in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I believe that. And a golf shirt.
But yeah. So anyway, back to Kev. And so one of the other things he has is his radio show, I guess the podcast, like I said. And so that one, what I like is the fact that because of the fact that it's about not having your best moments, is that everybody is talking about all the mistakes because he has the book out, Successful Failure.
Yes, correct.
And so based on that, it's like, what went wrong? What would you have done differently? What have you learned? And it's all like the worst moments of your life. Yeah. And some of it, like, people are talking about it, and I'm like, I never even heard that about this person.
Oh, yeah. Or like working for Boeing, he talk about that all the time. Boeing and Burger King, that's what he always talks about.
The B&B.
Yeah, he's like, I was at Burger King for 3 hours, and then he was like, I probably got a little chunky because, I was eating the burgers at the Burger King. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing too is that, with Issa Rae, for example, she was talking about her failures of pitching and piloting shows.
Yeah, that's true.
And yes, Insecure, great, but she talked about the fact that it went on forever with HBO to get it to the point that, because she had that Diary of a Black Girl or something that was on YouTube. Yeah. And then when she was pitching this,
which is the Insecure.
Right.
Which I'm saying, but that diary, the diary was her social media, and then they were like, this could be a show. So now
and then she was switching it, to make it more in alignment with what HBO thought would be successful.
Correct.
So, and she was getting frustrated because she was like, you know what? They're trying to switch everything. Like it's this and it's that and it's this concession. And no, I don't want to do that. And she was like, and I didn't even know what the rules were to know what I could push back on and what I couldn't push back on and what all these different things. And so based on that, she did say that she learned about collaboration. It's not about because they said this, now I have to go back and try to figure out how to make it work. But it's like, all right, but if you have something else to say or some other options, then let's talk through it, So she learned that part of the process, which she said, nobody teaches you or tells you about.
Oh, she learned about the money part too.
She learned about the money part. And then they both talked about how when you do have a show and things like, not necessarily Insecure, but I think for her it was City Girls. Is that the one? Rap City?
Rap S-H-I-T.
Oh, that one.
Rap Sugar Honey Iced Tea.
Yes, that one. So with that, she was like, that's the thing that hurt her the most because she didn't feel like it was done. She was like, we weren't doing horribly, but we just didn't get picked back up again. And she's like, these are good people. And then the production crew and the, camera people and all that. And so then they had a great conversation about the guilt that comes along with that, because it's like, but she's still Issa Rae.
It's a survivor's remorse.
And then he's still Kevin Fredericks, and he'll still go on, and he can just start doing a comedy show. But the people that you hired that put all your faith in you and are paying their mortgage based on you, now they don't have jobs, and how guilty you can feel about that. And I guess in theory, it made sense, but I had never really put that together that, oh yeah, that's true, because although they know that it's a show, and they know that it can be canceled at any time. I mean, that's any pilot, any show, you never know if it's going to happen. I guess kind of in my mind, I was thinking that they wouldn't necessarily feel bad for the person who's the producer or the director or the writer of it. They would feel like, oh, HBO, BET, you know?
Yeah.
But and for them, they're like,
this is my
baby.
Yeah.
So therefore, I feel personally bad and responsible for them. And, you know, but you realize, too, that you can't pay out of pocket for everybody to find something else. But then they also talked about how, like with Insecure, the great part about that is almost everybody landed on their feet because, I mean, when you look at some of the folks from there, like Ellis, what's his name? I mean, he's on everything.
Jay Ellis,
Yep. He's on everything.
He had that weird movie that I think I might have talked about it. So it was like that weird movie. I can't remember what it was, but it was like him being like Blade in a movie. And he was. Remember I talked about he was the basketball player, and then something traumatic happens at his house, and he goes back out. It was like it's like John Wick. It was like a John Wick film, but not really a John Wick film.
And then he was in All's Fair. Yeah. I mean, it's not All's Fair. I'm sorry. He was in It's All Her Fault. All these Alls shows.
Yeah. And then he was also in Escape Room.
Yes, the Escape Room. He was in
he's
Maverick.
He's been in a lot of things.
Top Gun with Tom Cruise. Come on. So, I mean, like, he's landed, and I forgot the girl. You were just talking about her.
Yvonne Orji?
Yep, she's landed. So, everybody is doing really good. And she even said, even the production crew, like, everybody's, you know, ended up getting great jobs because when you're on a great show, everybody wants to pick you up, you know, pretty much after that, especially if you haven't typecast yourself.
Correct, yeah.
So that helps too. So anyway, but I thought the podcast was really good. Yes, I knew he had talked to Tabitha Brand too. And Tabitha used it, which I thought was kind of brilliant. So she did the podcast with them. Yeah. Then she put out a post and said, hey, everybody, thanks for the thoughts. Thanks for the caring. I appreciate it. I'm going to address this tomorrow. And everybody is like, oh my God, what happened in the podcast? Yeah. So then, of course, now you got a bunch of people running to the podcast to see if they hear something, which there wasn't anything really there.
It wasn't really anything like crazy, but it was about the whole, you talking about the whole Target thing?
No, that wasn't even it.
I wasn't talking about that.
No, but that's what she made everybody think it was, and that's what people were saying that it was. And so they were like, oh, what, huh? You're like, what's going on? What did she say? And yeah, he talked to her about Target and they readdressed it. But people were like, why would she be saying she needs to readdress something for Target? That's so old now. Like, who's even talking about that? Yeah. So the next day, her video was about her hair care line.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so, yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
so
I did see that one.
She made it seem like it was some drama that she was involved in. And instead, she was like, so, you know, a lot of people have been seeing Donna, which is her hair. She calls her hair Donna. And, you know, they this and they that. And she said, so we had to come out with a new formulation of da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Because at first I was like, oh, my gosh, is she, like, burning people's hair out their scalp?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And she was like, and I apologize for how the product
is just so amazing.
No, she goes, she starts off with, I apologize for my Donna's collection, you know, really impacting people the way that it did. And she has like this serious look, like she's just distressed. And then she was like, so and I'm going to say that we are going to relaunch
a different formula.
Yeah, a different formula. Yeah.
Or a different string of the products. So you have Donna's recipe over here, and then you have this newer.
Perfect.
She is like a genius when it comes to all this. I don't know if it's her marketing people or her herself or what.
But that's the thing, because like I said over and over again, it is what is in the briefcase on Pulp Fiction. Everybody wants to know what it is. So if you tease somebody with it, then you're going to want to go and see exactly what it is.
Exactly. So I've been really enjoying watching Kevin Fredericks, and then he just puts a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I don't know how he has the time to do it all, because then he's also putting out his normal, like, you know, TikTok or Instagram reel or Facebook story or different things, you know, and some of it's really quick and some of it's like other videos that he'll see, and then he's like, oh, let me chime in on this and give my opinion and things like that.
And you know what else I love about Kev? How he bigs up his wife. He was like, my book would not be as successful as it is if it wasn't for my wife.
Yep.
He was like, and if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't be as successful as I am.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for
her.
her.
High school sweethearts.
Yeah. He was like, because when I said I'm quitting Boeing, or I got fired from Boeing, and now we're gonna move to to somewhere else. Like, we're going to move to LA, and I'm going to try.
The most expensive place.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to go ahead and get a job. And she's just like,
and do comedy and all of this.
She was like, she had some words for me, yes. He said, but, she knew what my passion was, and she went with it. She had so much belief in him and how funny he is and how talented he is. And she was like, okay, let's go. Let's do it. This is your dream.
With little kids.
With
and all
kids.
Those things that he,
with kids and a dog.
But that just shows that it's all about your own belief in yourself, your belief in what your vision is for your life, and not letting go of it, no matter how many no's you get, no matter how much, you just feel as though, how can I even go on? But it's like, but this is I wouldn't have the vision if it wasn't going to happen.
And then also the fact that you have a partner who is like, I believe, not only do you believe in your vision, but I believe in your vision as well.
And now it's to the point that it's flipped where he can believe in her vision.
Exactly,
so now she's launched her own, I think it's fragrance line.
Okay, yeah.
So she now has a fragrance line that she's working with some people out of Atlanta.
Okay, so
and they just had that launch like in the last week or two.
Yeah.
And so, so that's how it all, I think it's called Brown Sugar is the name. I mean, not hers. The name of the company she's working with is Brown Sugar, and then she has her own scent, which I thought it was like, it has initials or something, and I thought it was hers, but it's not her initials, so I don't know.
I wonder if their son Zay.
No, I don't know what it is. But anyway, that was funny too, seeing them when they were like that whole trend of the parent picking up the child because it's the last time ever that you'll pick up your child.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
You haven't seen that trend?
I'm going to have to find that one.
Yeah, it's something where like the moms, like their son might be a teenager, 6 foot tall, and it's like just jump on, like put your legs, wrap them around me, and let me hold you. And these moms will bawl because they're like, it's
I
the
can't
last
do it
time
anymore.
I'm going to hold my baby in life, like I used to.
Yeah.
And so he tried it with his son, or he did it with his son. And, his son was just like, all right, this is the weirdest.
Yeah, because his son drives now.
Exactly. And then they did it with his mom. His son did it with his mom, and she couldn't.
Yeah, she can't pick
really
up the boy.
So then he picked her up, and then he even was able to pick up Kev. And Kev was like, what, son? What? You strong, son. He was so proud.
You pick up the 270. Because he always talk about, I'm that good 270.
Yeah, so anyway, but that's all I have. So we got about 10 minutes left. So that is Kev on Stage. You can follow him on all the socials.
Yeah, all platforms.
It's Tubi for, what did I say? Safe Space.
And the hospital.
And then, in the hospital. And then you can listen to the podcast anywhere you can find
BET
podcasts.
Plus for Churchy.
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
Thank you, Sis.
Yes.
Okay, what you got?
All right, I want to talk about this, and me and you had talked about when we were going up to Charlottesville. It's a TV show, a movie that I watched on Hulu. And it is called I Don't Understand You.
Yes.
So it is funny. It is dark humor.
Mm-hmm.
Is dark humor. But basically, here, I'm going to go through the cast. So you have Nick Kroll as Dom, and his partner is Andrew Renelis, who plays Cole. You have Amanda Seyfried.
Siegfried?
It's S-E-Y. How do you pronounce that name?
Amanda.
Seyfried.
It's Siegfried. Siegfried. But that's how they say it. So I don't know
Ain't
how.
no G in there.
Seyfried. They say Siegfried.
Yeah.
Seyfried?
No. She's the girl from
let's just say Amanda.
She's the girl from all the
Seyfried.
2000 movies
Seyfried?
with the big eyes. Yeah, maybe let's go with Seyfried.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the three main characters, and Amanda, who plays Candace, is actually only in it a couple of times. But let me tell you about this, and I want everybody to watch this. Everybody needs to watch this. Yes. Okay. So you have a gay couple who is Dom and Cole, and they are trying to adopt a baby. So it starts off with them making a video that they have to send out to a potential pregnant woman that answers questions about what they want for the baby and what they would do if they got the baby. Like what they would do for their child. So they have Amanda, who ends up being somebody who is a pregnant woman, and she's like, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, who I'm going to choose. I've talked to quite a few families, blah, 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 blah. And they have had issues where they have been scammed before and had women actually take their money. Yeah. They said that they actually went and they were talking to this woman, and right when they did their own baby shower with all of their friends, saying, yeah, we're about to have this baby. The baby's due soon. So we're going to do a baby shower with people in their neighborhood. And then they found out the lady has ran off with their money. There actually was never a baby. And they said that they had to go back and knock on everybody's door and tell them, hey, here's your gift back. We actually do not have a baby. So they were saying that after that, they were saying how after that they were super devastated, more so Cole than Dom. But they were so super devastated, and they like, and what is it, irreconcilable? And what is the word?
Irreconcilable differences.
Yes, but not differences, but like just he was inconsolable.
Oh,
that's the word.
I was like, huh? Oh, inconsolable.
Yeah, I had too many words in my head just now. So he was like, we were inconsolable. So what happens is Dom's character is more of a, hey, we don't know for sure if we're gonna have this baby, so let's not get our hopes up.
Yeah.
And Cole is like, okay, so what do we need to get for our baby? Like, blah, 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 blah. It's like at present tense with the baby. And so I feel like it was, I think Dom's whole position is, I don't want to get too hyped because I can get devastated.
Yeah, I'm going to jinx it.
Yeah,
all of that.
And they actually talk about this when they talk about one part where they have to perform CPR. And it was like, I didn't pay attention to CPR class. He was like, so you didn't pay attention to infant CPR class when we were about to have a baby? And then he looks at him and he was like, after he says that, he stops and he was like, Dom, did you really not pay attention because you didn't think we were going to have the baby? And Dom was like, so let me go ahead and start compressions. And he's like, yeah, just do it. So so what happens is they go and it's close, like while they're trying to figure out if they're going to have this baby or not, it's around their anniversary.
Okay.
So what do? They go to Italia. So they're in Italy and they're loving it. Now, where they go to in Italy, Dom's dad's best friend lives in Italy.
Okay.
He was like, this is like my uncle. He was like, I've known him all my life, like whatever. So it was like, while we're in Italy, we're going to spend some time with him. We'll have dinner and everything. And the uncle is like, hey, you're my son, or you're my best friend's son, and I want you to have the best. So there was a lady, she had the best restaurant in Italy. And then she had a death in the family. Her husband had a stroke. And she closed the restaurant, said she was never cooking again. He was like, but when I told her about you all, she has now decided to have you all come into her house, and she's heating up her oven just for you two. And it's actually going to be on her farm, off in the hills of Tuscany or wherever. And so they're like excited about it. And they're ready to go. So as they're getting ready to go, they have a rental car. They leave dinner, and the guy who's like their uncle, who's like Dom's uncle, is like, okay, here you go. Here's all your information. He was like, and remember, be careful. And walks off. Yeah, and then they're just like, and Cole's sitting there. He goes, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? And then Dom's just kind of like, all right, yeah, thanks. So they get in the car. And Cole's like, is he saying be careful because I'm driving? He's like, why is he saying be careful? And Dom's like, he's probably saying it because we're the gays. We are the gays. Like, how they say it, how they would say it in English in Italy. So it was like, yeah, maybe that's what it is. So now they're driving through these beautiful hills, and they're going to where they're supposed to stay at this like bed and breakfast, which is not far away from, which I guess is maybe like 30 minutes away from where the farm is that they're supposed to be going to this dinner. So they get there, and there was one funny moment where they're not understanding anything that's being said because the Italian that Dom knows, Duolingo.
Okay.
That's all he knows.
Okay.
Cole, 0%.
Oh, God.
He doesn't even know that, grazie. He doesn't know. Like, he's like, yeah, grazie. Yeah. Yeah. Like, he's like, I'm here. You're taking care of all of this. Treat me like a princess. That's how Cole is. So now they get to the bed and breakfast, or the inn or whatever, and the guy's like, oh yes, we were expecting you, for your honeymoon. And so Dom is now standing at the counter, and Cole comes around with their luggage, And he's like, so the guy who's at the desk is like, okay. He was like, are you, everything okay? He was like, yeah, no, it will be okay. Come on, I'll show you to your room. Okay. So then he goes up to the room, and they have the 2 double beds or the twin beds, but they're like pushed together. And he was like, as he's doing that, he's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you were here with your colleague. So we set this up for a man and wife honeymoon, and he was like, "Oh no, it's our anniversary." So the kid is like pulling all the sheets and everything off of the bed, trying to separate them. He hasn't realized it. Yeah, and he's separating everything. So and then Cole walks over to the windows, looking out the window. He's like, "Oh my God, look at this view." Dom comes up behind him, and he's like rubbing his back and like rubbing on him. And then the guy looks, and he goes, "Oh," and this is all in subtitles. It's like, "Oh, I'm such an idiot." Oh my God. So now he's thinking that he's an idiot downstairs because he's like, I set it up for an anniversary. These are 2 guys. I messed this up.
Anniversary, right.
Then he gets upstairs and he's like, oh no, they're gay men. And now I told them that I did it wrong and I've separated these beds. So he's like basically talking to himself in Italian, and then he leaves out the room. And then
so the bed's still not messed up. He's still not made up.
Yeah. The bed's like the bed was like partially separated, partially unmade, and he just is like "Excuse," and walks out. But he's just calling himself. He's like, "Oh, I'm so stupid. Why am I so stupid? Why didn't I think about this?" And they're like, "What's his problem?"
Right.
So the whole time, because the influx of Italians and how fast they talk and things like that. No, like if you're American, you're thinking that they're upset or they're talking about you because everybody in America is insecure. So therefore they're just like, okay, So they're like, oh yeah, we got to go to Zia Luciana's house, and this is the way to get to the farm. He was like, it's like 30 minutes away. So as they're driving, Dom is in the passenger seat telling Cole where to turn, and they turn onto some property.
Okay.
Not a road. It's just like property where it's like, just imagine farmland where you can see the 2 places where the tires go and everything else is grass.
Those 2 tires.
And Cole's like, are you sure this is what? He's like, yeah, this is what directions say. Are you absolutely sure? And then I see so many of my friends in this couple while they're going back and forth, because it's like, are you saying that you don't trust me? It's like, I'm not saying I don't trust you, but look where we're at. Like, there's nothing around here. How are we supposed to be going to a restaurant and there's no restaurant around here? We're in the middle of nowhere. We're in the woods. So it's like, just let me be your superhero. Let me save the day for you. And then and so many things that unfold after that, which is hilarious. But they actually get to where they need to be. And that's when everything starts to go downhill. So now...
like, not that was enough, right?
That was not even any of the downhill. Right. Whatever happened before was nothing.
That was a flat surface.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Now we have the downhill.
Now they are going downhill like they are on a toboggan in the Swiss Alps. Like, straight down Everest. I don't even know. Wow. But it was...
It's an avalanche. It's
an avalanche because... They know no Italian, but they think that, like, Dom thinks that he does a little bit. So he's picking up bits and pieces, and he's like, yeah, I don't know what they're saying. And because of the way that the people are talking, it makes it seem like they are taking it as, oh, they're trying to, like, they don't like the fact that we're gay. And then also they have in the back of their head what the uncle had said, be careful.
Be careful, yeah.
So now just like, oh my God, like, why are we out here? Now we're in the middle of nowhere, and everything just, it's funny, but it's dark of the way that the things happen. But I watched the movie 3 times now.
Oh my gosh, 3?
3 times now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm
because
definitely going to have to watch it.
You'll love it. I think you'll love it.
I love it. Dark humor.
But then it's like, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, like, why are you all just doing this? Why aren't you thinking? But then I'm like, okay, so they're thinking that they're in danger. So this is how they would be frantic during, like, being in danger. But then it all actually circles back around to the beginning of the video, the beginning of the movie, where they're making the video. Once the end of the movie comes, like, once you see the end of the movie, then you realize everything that they said in the beginning of that video that they were sending to potential mothers all ties it up perfectly in a bow.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
So I think that it is hilarious. I love the movie, and I will probably watch it again when I get home. Because it's just...
it's your new comfort movie or something like that?
I don't usually have comfort movies, but this is it.
Yeah, you just put it on.
But then also I'm picking up bits and pieces because it's like I'm picking up more of like the subtitles, because the subtitles are up there fast because, Italians speak fast and then subtitles flash fast. I'm dyslexic, so therefore sometimes I gotta pause, and then sometimes I try to rewind, and if I rewind too fast, and I'm like, you know what, forget it. I don't even care.
And what is it on again?
It is on Hulu.
Yeah. See, now my Hulu acts up when I try to rewind. It doesn't allow me to do it, and it jumps forward. Is that everybody's Hulu?
I don't know. Mine's doing the same thing.
Oh my gosh, it drives me crazy. So it's almost like I have to go back even further than where I was planning to go.
So then it would jump up a little bit more.
Forward, it will jump forward to where I want it to potentially be. It's a weird thing. Or sometimes I'll just go all the way out and come back.
Yeah, that's true. You have to do that. But yeah, this movie has goats. Bella. You have a goat in it. You have a deer that is stranded on the side of the road. You have people who are hunting. You have the little kid who doesn't know exactly what he's doing as far as the bed and breakfast. You have an iron lung. You have, being stuck in the mud, not knowing what to do when you're stuck in the mud because you're from the city.
Yeah.
Or probably because of the generation that you were born in. But it's so many things that if anything could possibly go wrong, it went wrong. And that's why I'm here for it.
That's crazy.
So, yes.
All right. Well, there we go.
Yeah, I Don't Understand You.
And it was on Hulu.
Mm-hmm. And please watch it. I've never seen anything for it. I've never seen a trailer for it or anything. I was like, oh, that's Nick Kroll.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's Nick Kroll. Let me watch this. Yeah. He's a funny person, but it is, oh man, I don't know. It's just funny.
Okay. Well, there you have it, everybody. That is, what was it again called?
I Don't Understand You.
I Don't Understand You. Yeah, maybe that's what we need to call this episode. Yeah. Or it could be Insecure, because we talked about that a couple of times. So, we'll come through with what it's going to be. Yeah. But anyway, that's it for this week's Sestra-Tainment. Have a good week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time. It may be our 200th episode the next time. I have to double check that and see. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.